What's up? It's your boy Coach Allen. It's my son KJ. I was just thinking about talking about, we have some deep conversations, me and my son, me and my wife, me and my entire family. And I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to kind of record some of the conversations for the benefit of other people. Sometimes we talk about health, or we talk about education, and we talk about being parents and kids and things of that nature. And so I want to share some of the knowledge that is expressed in these conversations. So today we were talking about healthcare and eating right. And I know there's a lot of my friends that are working out right now. When I go to the gym, I go to the gym quite often, almost every day. And I see people who are heavy built up here, but yet still look like they're drinking a lot of beer or eating a lot of the wrong foods. And I just watched What the Health on Netflix. Kind of got me thinking about the vegan life and the dangers of meat. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard about it. But I always question, how come people don't make the changes that they should make when they know better? And I think it's because at the current time, when they're doing, like my son was saying, when he eats bacon, he's not thinking about the effects of bacon over a long period of time. At the time you're eating bacon, the bacon tastes good right now. And you're not thinking 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe 30, or maybe never. You may never have a problem because you ate bacon. But then again, you may also become my age at 40 or 50, and then all of a sudden the doctor's diagnosing you with cardiovascular disease. You're getting your cholesterol checked or your LDLs or whatever, and you're finding out you have all kind of problems. So we just wanted to kind of talk in general. So this is general, just talking. So you'll just hear us going back from one place to another. So what were you saying about the bacon idea?
It's basically like while you're eating bacon, you're not thinking about, oh, this is going to affect me in these ways. It's going to make me a little bit fatter. It's not good for me, blah, 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 blah. You're thinking this is some good bacon. And that's how people are in all things that, kind of hurt you in the long run, but feel good now. The more you're eating it, the less you're thinking about how bad it is. And so for a lot of people, they would rather continue eating it because it makes them feel better than not be doing those things, because in those times that they're not doing them, they feel bad. They feel the effects of doing the wrong thing or doing things that they're doing that they shouldn't be.
I was talking earlier about healthcare being like a mechanic shop. So follow my analogy a little bit. So you want monster truck tires because right now you're at an age or at a point in your life where you think that looks cool. You want the big tires. And so you get the big tires because you can. And you do look cool in them. Problem is, the big tire causes stress in other parts of the car. And in order for, over some time, the car is going to wear and tear because of the monster truck tires. And so you're fine. You know about this. So you go ahead and you get the kit that kind of helps those particular parts. Well, the stress of the monster tires and the new kit that you have makes the car a little bit heavier. So now the engine has to push a little bit harder. So now you got wear and tear with the engine. But once again, that's not today. That's going to be something that's going to be 5, 10 years down the road. And so therefore you decide, all right, now I got to get the engine fixed, and you got some parts that you got to get, blah, 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 because you still got the monster tires, you still got the kit on it, and you got to have something better and stronger for your engine. So you deal with that. But then now the fan, in order to keep the engine cool, that's also working extra hard. Mm-hmm. So you took one thing that you were enjoying at that time because that was important to you at the moment, and created so many more problems. My parents are now at an age where they got the old Sunday through Saturday pill deal, and they got the blue pill and the yellow pill and the white pill and the off green pill, and they're taking 7, 8 pills a day. Not understanding that, like my son was saying, some of the pills are because the pill that they were taking for, one thing causes liver problems. Mm-hmm. And the liver pill, which helps the heart stuff, causes some other problems. And so you end up being 50 or 60 or 40 in some people's cases, and you're taking all these medicines, but none of them are to cure the problem. You know, the in my mechanic car situation or analogy, take off the monster tires. Don't put the, you don't need them.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. If it's flooding in your area, that's fine. But a lot of times, you just want the tires because you just want the tires.
Mm-hmm.
You just want the bacon because you just want the bacon. You want the ice cream because you just want the ice cream. You want the meats and, you know, all these red meats that are horrible. You want the processed foods. It's so easy to stop at McDonald's. It's so easy to stop at Chewy's and Chili's and just sit down and eat whatever. Me and my wife went to BJ Brewery 2 nights ago for date night. And normally we'll get the little avocado appetizer deal, and then we'll get whatever we eat. And then right now they're having a special on them Pazookies, which I like, which is the big cookie with the 2 things of ice cream. That was for $3. It was Tuesday happy hour special.
Hey.
Okay? The Pazookie, and here's the thing. So I don't know if it's the FDA or whoever has said that restaurants, including McDonald's, has to place their calorie count on their menus. So if you go to McDonald's, you look up, it'll tell you a cheeseburger, you know, is between 700 and 1,500 calories, right? And so all that stuff is up there. Now, most people already know because you've seen it on milk or whatever that we are supposed to have at least a 2,000 calorie diet every day. Well, let me get back to my point. So we're sitting at the restaurant. I want to get the avocados because we normally do. I haven't done it in this year. I'm talking about in the past. I've been on a little health kick since 2017. And I look and I realize it's 1,300 calories.
I didn't know that.
It's 1,300 calories in just the little avocado things. The Pazookie was about 1,065 calories. So the dessert and the thing before I eat my meal is all I need for the entire day just in calories. Now, because I've been working out, I've been doing research, and I realized that we burn calories throughout the day. So yes, I might have taken in 2,000 calories, but I'm pretty active, so I can burn almost 1,500 calories almost a day working out and doing what I do. So you offset those two, I'm left with 500 calories, blah, 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 blah. All right, but my point is most people aren't as active as I am and are not as aware of the things they're putting in. What am I really getting nutritionally in the avocado thing? What am I really getting as far as nutrition in the ice cream and the big cookie, in the Pazookie, that my body's gonna need, you know, for me to burn and be healthy, as opposed to the things it's gonna hold on to and cause fat deposits and health problems later on. The Pazookie tastes excellent. It's great. You know, the avocado rich with fat, and they could put bacon in there and all that stuff. Tastes wonderful. But I was watching this health video, and it was saying, you know, people look great on the outside, but on the inside, that's where it counts. You don't go to the doctor and he looks at you and goes, "Oh my God, you're horrible. We need to get you some pills." Most of the time it's through blood work, you know, internally. They're looking through your arteries and clogged arteries, plaque buildup, things of that nature. It's all internal, and it's because it's things we can't see, which are the things that end up hurting. And it baffles me. You know, we were talking about milk. So I grew up during a time when the campaign was milk does a body good. You were told that you drank milk because it made you strong. And that was the big campaign. You drink milk. I remember, you know, you get a glass. Can I get a glass of milk and maybe some cookies? And you sit there and you drink the milk and you be like, "Oh, yeah, you know." And you eat your cookies and your mom, "Did you drink your milk today?" And you saw television shows, you know, where they promoted milk or advertised milk. And I started thinking about it as a grown person, which I'm kind of mad because my parents should have thought about this. What other animal drinks milk as an adult?
Yeah, none. Zero. Just us.
I'm serious. What other animal not only drinks milk into their adulthood, but drinks another animal's milk.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. Just 1 second. Think about the fact that at some point, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but at some point somebody decided to drink a cow's milk. And we could take that into some other, if animals produced anything else that their young would eat, you wouldn't even think of eating that, because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for you to eat the product of another animal, especially into your adulthood. Babies drink milk, and they stop drinking milk pretty early. You know, you don't drink milk when you're 4. You don't see anybody breastfeeding at 4. The people that do, when you see them, most people look at them and go, "That is the strangest thing I've ever seen." Stop. You need to stop breastfeeding your children at 4, and all that. You know, and I'm not here to preach, but I'm just saying in general, it doesn't make sense for any animal to eat or to drink milk once they're adults, logically, and then it doesn't make sense at all for any animal to drink another animal's milk. And the concept that it's something you need in your life is dumb. That doesn't make sense at all. For you to need dairy in order to be stronger, why would any animal have evolved to need something that the body doesn't produce, and that in any other aspect you would never even get? It's not possible to get human milk once your mother stopped making it, and the mother stopped making it once you stop taking it. So what happens if you stop drinking milk and then we find out that you need milk and there's no way to get it? It doesn't work like that, because there's no reason for you to actually physically need milk. It doesn't make your bones any stronger than just living a healthy lifestyle. You know, you get calcium from all kinds of things. The super huge influx of calcium that you get from milk is not necessary. It's a more than 100% need. When you look at the back of a milk carton, it doesn't say this is your 100% calcium need for the day. It's going to say 200 or 300, depending on how much you're drinking. Nobody needs 300% of anything. You don't need more than what you need. That doesn't make sense in any aspect.
And actually, the type of milk that you're drinking at this point, 2017, probably doesn't have all the nutritional values that old milk used to have
back in the day.
Back in the
old quality
1850s, milk, right? Farmers on the ranch or whatever. The key thing is just sense. I think a lot of times we just don't make any sense. We don't educate ourselves, and the few of us that do educate ourselves aren't willing to do whatever it takes in order to do it the right way. Big bone, elephants have big bones. Elephants don't drink cow milk.
That's true.
I don't even think elephants drink their own milk after a certain age.
No, and
gorillas are huge.
Yeah.
Some of the strongest animals ever. Huge, built, all bumped. They don't drink milk.
And they don't really eat meat either.
And they don't eat meat. They don't eat meat. You got two of the biggest animals, vegan to some degree. And I'm not trying to say, okay, everybody got to be a vegan, because as soon as the vegan word comes out, everybody shuts off. Unfortunately, it's like being a Christian. As soon as you start talking about God, people start, oh, here they go. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying we don't think past what we're told. And then we don't think about who's telling us these things. Who's telling us to eat meat and drink milk? Mm-hmm. People who make milk and people who profit off of meat products.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out the cheapest way they can to make a profit. If they could take a nickel worth of meat and put some water on it and have it expand into a hamburger bun and sell it to you for $3.50, by all means, they'll do it. Why wouldn't they? I think for me, a lot of times when I'm thinking about the goodness in man, I'm also not thinking about, well, why would they care? They don't know me. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great Samaritans out there, good people, but most people aren't. And most people who have money because they have found shortcuts and ways around the system. My wife was talking yesterday. She said, back in the day, we had a bartering system where you had goods and I had goods and we traded. Mm-hmm. And in order for you to trade with me, my goods had to be good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't profit. it was about survival. So I did something, you did something, we switched. Well, when I realized I can make a profit off of getting more than what you were getting, then that's where we kind of started becoming more corrupt. I started giving you products that weren't just the product. I had enhanced them in some way so I could get more bang out of my buck, more buck out of my bang, whatever. I could get more out of what I was giving. And vice versa. And so because we're so money driven, we keep forgetting that most people are not looking at our benefits, the individual benefits. They're thinking about themselves. McDonald's don't give two craps about you and a Happy Meal. They call it a Happy Meal because they just want you to purchase it at $5-6 in 2017 when it used to be $1 or $1.99 back in my time. It's the same meal, and it's probably worse than what it used to be as far as how they make it, because they're constantly engineering new ways to create the same thing at a cheaper cost to make more money. And I think sometimes we forget some of the basic stuff and we just buy into whatever we're told. Same thing with this, there's some vegan things that aren't right. There's some healthy foods that aren't healthy. It says 100% less butter, but it really isn't 100% less butter because they give you 200% butter in the regular product. And they make the box light blue as opposed to dark blue, a light yellow. So all of a sudden butter ain't butter because it comes out of a light yellow container. And so it's little bitty tricks like that kind of throw us off, and I know people are aware, but he was talking earlier, I really wish I had recorded it, about the show My 600-Pound Life. Now tell them what you were kind of saying, the concept of the idea.
Well, it's like you don't get on the show not wanting to lose weight. That's the whole premise of the show is I'm 600 plus pounds. I don't want to be 600 plus pounds because, number one, it's inconvenient to me, my family, and also it's hurting me health-wise in all kinds of aspects. But at the same time, there's 40 minutes of the hour of the show is them eating and them voicing over, I know I wasn't supposed to be eating this, but it made me feel good and it made me happier, and so that's why I did it. And from a person's perspective who, doesn't have those problems, you can say, well, why didn't you just stop? You know that you have these problems, just stop. But everybody has those, that thing that they know is bad for them, that they know is wrong, that they still do because it makes them happy. And it's not that people don't know. It's that people would rather not know, or people would rather not think about it. It's, ignorance is bliss. Everybody's heard it, and it's very true. You'd rather not know or rather not think about it, because when you start thinking about it, when you know, it becomes hard to live the same life that you've been living, doing the same wrong things that have made you happy, but they're wrong now.
I was watching the health thing, and I hope I'm not misquoting, but basically it said 1 in every 3 people in the United States will be diagnosed with diabetes by 2020. How can they predict the number of people that are going to have a disease unless it's a disease that is self-inflicted in some regards? You have people who have diabetes and they were born, it's genetics, okay, or something to that nature. Then you have a larger group that have diabetes because of the lifestyle, because of the life choices that most doctors and scientists know we're going to take. We're going to give our kids milk. We're going to give them the Lunchables, which is processed meat on top of processed something on top of something else. We're going to have school cafeterias with pizza bites, the cheapest pizza they can find. We're not talking about high quality pizza. And even in high quality pizza, it's not high quality pizza. It's still bad. You're going to have the Frito pie with whatever chili sauce formula, whatever cheese formula that they're going to put on there. And it's not cheese. When I was a kid, even when you go to the ballpark or something, you get nachos and they give you that weird syrupy like cheese that they put on the nachos, or at the movies or something. Nobody questions what that is. It's not cheese. It's some processed thing or glue glob, yellow looking thing that kind of tastes like cheese, but you get used to that taste because that's the taste that they've programmed you to want. And like he was saying with the 600-pound thing, they're on the show because they weigh 600 pounds and they want help and they don't want to look like they do and they don't want to die. And what kills me is the fact that several of them are like, this is killing me. This is killing me, and I don't know how long I have to live. But pizza and hamburgers and fried chicken and all the stuff that they're just shoving in their face seems to be worth death. It seems to be worth sitting down and not being able to move, not being able to sit in a car, not being able to walk out the door, not being able to, have fully functional relationships with people. I mean, it's crazy the sacrifices that people are willing to make to eat something. And not a single one of them says, okay, I'm getting nutritional value out of this. There's a benefit to what I'm eating other than at the moment that I'm eating it, it makes me feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I found out that a couple of products, like cheese, for instance, has a psychological effect on us. It gives us, the same pleasure as heroin to some degree. The same region of our brain that, when you're taking a drug like heroin that gets activated is the same kind of activation that happens when you eat cheese. The types of cheese that we're eating, the pleasure sensors go off. And so, you're excited about the cheese you're about to get. You're excited about the bacon. You're excited about the ice cream because of what the manufacturers of those products know is going to happen to us. Mm-hmm. When you're watching football, when you think about this for all my men, you're watching football. What's some of the first things that's going to pop into your mind? All right, football. All right, you got your favorite team. You're watching the game. If you're watching the game with a friend, you gotta have beer. Gotta have beer, right? Then they got 45 beer commercials over and over and over and over and over and over. And then during the beer commercials, usually they show you got pizza advertisements with cheese and more cheese and cheese stuffed cheese. Cheese with cheese inside the cheese. Cheese with bacon inside, cheese inside of crust, overlay over with some cheese on the top. And so you're being fed this idea that is attached. Football, beer, pizza, and hot chicks with bathing suits. I don't know why that is. But when you think of football season, that's kind of what they show in an advertisement. Mm-hmm. That gets stuck in your brain. So if you're an avid football watcher, those are the things you're thinking you need to have. You put together a party, you're going to have chips because they have all the chips. Everybody's going to have on jerseys. Everybody's going to be rooting for the team. Everybody's going to be eating pizza and drinking beer in the backyard maybe. And it's always a nice backyard or someone's house, which is always nicely decorated. He has a team, his wife has a team, or they got the same team. And these are the ideas being pushed in our heads. The same thing happens when it comes to just eating bad. Now, here's the other part that really, really irritates me. All the people who are overweight, all the people who have issues, health issues, who turn around and say, well, some of your claims are true, but some of them are not. Because there's some people who work out every single day and die of a heart attack. There's people who don't smoke at all who end up with lung cancer. People who run every day and seem like they're in great shape and are vegan and are also overweight or, have some issues. True. If you look at it statistically, there is a 5% to 6% group who have some genetic conditions that no matter what they do, unfortunately, they're going to have those. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about 6%. Yeah. So you're basing 94% of why you just don't do right by your own body on 6%. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, there are people who have had lung cancer who never smoked a day in their life. There are people who smoked their whole life, like a chimney,
Who don't get
who
lung?
don't get lung cancer. But that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of football players that get on the football field and go to the league and never tear an ACL. And then there's some people who go first day and tear the ACL and never go to the league. But that doesn't stop kids and young men from believing that when they play, they might be the one to go to the league. It doesn't stop them from believing. So my thing is, why are we not applying this idea to our own health? Why are we not applying this idea to our own lives? How stubborn do we have to be? How many more emails and Facebook posts do I have to read with somebody saying, can you pray for my brother? Pray for my uncle, pray for my mom, pray for my dad, pray for my son, pray for my daughter, on all of these self-inflicted issues. If you look at people that are dealing with pains in their back and their hips, doctor tells you to lose weight. I guarantee the doctor's telling you to lose weight. I got friends that are overweight who have bulging discs, herniated this, that, and this and that, and they're in pain, and they have to take medicine, to try to help with the pain. But the thing they're not doing is losing the weight, because they would much rather, apparently, be in pain, take the pills, complain about it, as opposed to maybe going through some pain to try to lose the weight, which is not eating the things that you want. Going and walk, go to the gym and doing those things, because the long-term effects are what's important.
Yeah. I mean, anything you do is going to be uncomfortable eventually. If you're content on eating the things and doing the things that you want to do, it's going to lead to pain in some aspect that you don't want it to lead to. It's the same concept if you're willing to make changes or to just start off doing the right thing. It's going to hurt. When you lift, it's going to hurt. It hurts. Lifting hurts. It's about what you get out of it. It's about the long term. It's always about the long term. In the short term, it's going to hurt. Or in the short term, it can feel good. Now, for most people, if you lay it out in black and white and you say, hey, would you rather in the short term hurt and in the long term you feel better, or in the short term feel better and in the long term it hurt? Most people are going to choose the most obvious choice, which is, yeah, I'll take a little pain for some big gain. That's what doing the right thing is. But unfortunately, that's not how people live. That's not how most people do anything. Most people would rather have the immediate pleasure followed by all the other pain that's in the future. That's not happening right now. Or, it hurts when I lift, so why would I lift and bring that pain upon myself? Whereas, it hurts my heart after I've eaten a lot, but I can't control that. And a lot of people, I feel, for some reason, would rather deal with pain that they can't control than pain that they can control, which is strange and backwards. But it's like you don't want to bring that pain on yourself. People don't want to run because while running, it hurts, especially if you're overweight. The more overweight you are, the harder it is to run. You know it's going to make you feel better in the long run, but you don't want to hurt yourself by running. So you'd rather hurt yourself in a way that you can't control. You'd rather your heart hurt. You'd rather your motor functions be blunted because you can't move very well. You'd rather, be stuck with migraines all the time. You'd rather do these and things, you'd rather have these things happen to you because you wanted to do something that was fun or that felt good now. And even though, once again, in that black and white scenario where you say, would you rather hurt now and be better later? Most people are going to choose that. That's not how it happens when you actually have to put those things in motion.
It's funny he's saying that because, and once again, I just now started making changes. I'm 43, and it's not like this information hasn't been out the whole time. I'm guilty of being one of those people who was content and happy with how I looked and how I felt at the time, even though the knowledge was out there. And no, I didn't get diagnosed with anything. All of a sudden, I'm on this kick to save everybody. I just got woke, as they say, And as of January 1st, it's only been 7 months, have decided to make some changes. But it is the huge transformation that I've seen in my energy, my body, health wise, internally. I can't actually wait to go to the doctor to get checked out to see some of the health benefits internally that I have as well. But more or less, my motivation has been on the idea that I want change. I want things to be different. I want to be educated. I'm an educator. I teach kids, and I talk about common sense things, or understanding. Hey, if you don't read well, the only way to get better at reading is to actually read. If you don't look in the mirror and look at yourself and go, ooh, I like what I see. Not that I look in the mirror and I'm content. No, I look in the mirror and I'm comparing myself to other people that are worse than I am. And I think that's where the big problem lies, is people look in the mirror at themselves, or go to HEB or go to Walmart and look at other people and go, oh, I look better than them. Okay, but you're a horrible reader comparing yourself to another horrible reader. And just because you read better than the horrible person don't mean you're a good reader. Mm-hmm. And I think that is where the problem lies. And we're always willing to say, well, I mean, better than that. That could be me. So I'm doing well. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not. And you're not. Look around your friends. Look at the number of people that are overweight and okay with being overweight. We didn't say fat, because when you say fat, people think of all kinds of different things when you say fat. I'm saying overweight. How much should you weigh at your height and at your age? And usually, most of us are way over that. I'm 5'6.5". I weighed 176 pounds. I did not look like I was some butterball or somebody that needed to go on this huge diet deal, because I'm 5'6.5" and I'm 170 some pounds. On the scale, at 43, I'm supposed to be between 142, I think it's 137, and 156. Okay, that's my window. I never thought of a grown man being 150 pounds. That don't even seem right to me. I'm a coach and I see kids all the time. And I'm like, 150 pounds? Are you serious? But once again, I'm 5'6.5". My best was when I was 150 pounds. So that's where I should be. But I'm not, or at least I was not at the time. I was 176. I decided to start eating better. I dropped like 10 pounds quickly, just eating the right things. I got to 166. I started working out, going to the gym, started running every day, being consistent, changing my diet, changing my mindset. Now I'm under 160. Now I'm at 157. So I've gotten closer to my goal. I feel great. Did it take 7 months? Yes. Did it take discipline? Yes. Am I 100%, don't eat ice cream and